Hi there. Welcome to the HTM Buddy Build of the U.S.S. Reliant. I'm Ken with Ken's Hobby Bench.
And I'm Jordan with Lining the Stars. It's week
Well,
35,
buddy,
man. It's week 35, and it's really early in the morning, by the way.
it is. We're both
Well, not
pretty groggy.
yes. Well, there's a 2-hour time difference for us, so it's early for me, not super early for you. And I do appreciate you working with me on that. It's funny how life gets in the way, and when you're trying to coordinate recording with someone who lives in another country and a couple of time zones away. It's amazing that we're able to make this work every single week. So
Yeah,
I do
this
have to
week
stop.
I had lost my internet for 2 days. It was weird. There's just like because I'm on fiber optic, and the guy just came in the morning there and made a phone call, reset my router, and somebody on the other end switched something, and then it was fixed. Didn't even have to replace the router. I'm like, couldn't
It was
somebody
just
have
a
just talked me
technical
through
issue.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
my goodness. What's worse about not having the internet is it feels like you're in the Stone Age a little bit, and you have to rely on your phone so much.
yeah. I was using my phone as a hotspot.
At least we have that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I guess with no internet, it looks like you got some painting done this week. You want to tell us about it?
yeah. So I did record this. I did the adhesion promoter, which I was telling Jordan there. It doesn't actually make the part sticky. But once you put the adhesion promoter on, you have 10 minutes to put your paint on. Has to be done before 10 minutes is up.
Wow.
So then I came in right away and did both of the nacelles, and then the roll bar and weapons bar I did last night. So
Very nice.
and then to get a full proper cure out of the paint is a full 24 hours. It's touchable. I think they said in like 25 minutes, but yeah, I'm definitely going to give it until this evening before I start doing some more work on it. And
That's so
then,
cool, man.
yeah, I did some other stuff. You'll see in my recording this week, I mixed up some Mass Designer thinner.
Cool.
So I'll walk you through that in my video here. And I did one color up, the Torpedo Assembly Detail Blue.
Oh man.
So that's ready to go, and I will try that out later this evening on my uh, photon torpedo areas here, and we'll see how that looks. If need be, to me, I think it might need to go a little darker blue.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, that's just what I see in my eye. But we'll see. If it does, then I can add a couple more drops of the darker Mediterranean blue here,
Okay.
and yeah, and just adjust it. So
Very
that's the good
cool.
thing about mixing your own paints, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so cool, man. It looks great.
So
Yeah.
and yeah, the Rust-Oleum 2X primer paint turned out really well. It's a nice smooth finish. Really does a great job at coverage. I cannot complain at all. What I
Wow,
did find
that looks
though
really good.
is when you're painting, I had to go back and sand because when I was originally doing this, I had bumped these into each other, and that kind of marred the paint a bit.
Mm.
So I had to go in and wet sand after, I think I was actually more like 48 hours. Came in wet sanded and then I did another proper layer of paint, and then I hung them up to dry with on my um, yeah on my wiring here. So yeah, it ended up turning out really good. So I'm happy with that. And that's kind of what I got accomplished and kind of what I'm hoping to finish off for this video this week is getting this blue put into here and seeing how it looks. If it looks good, if I like the color, I might do the blue back down in here.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, and we'll see. I know The blue will be painted up here as well, but I believe that's part of the masks, whereas these little areas here are not. Um, Same as the photon torpedo area is not. Because really, I mean, there's really nothing to really mask there. It's just a whole
Right.
area that gets painted blue. So that's kind of what I've accomplished slash going to hopefully accomplish for this
Nice.
week. And how about you?
As usual, work gets in the way of things, but I'm fully prepped and ready to go for the next phase. Over the last week, really all I've done since we recorded last time, outside of actually releasing a video, I've been working on recreating my corner RCS thruster boxes for the back of the ship. These ones I just wasn't very happy with how they turned out. Like they looked good, but very uneven, and I didn't really do a proper job of measuring and stuff like that. So went ahead and worked on creating two of them. I made this one, actually the one that I was showing you guys, is a little too wide. As you can see, it's just a little wider than the one on the corner, which I had gotten correct. So I need to go ahead and recreate this one, get those put in place. But the big plan forward this week is going to be, as I said last week, but it carries through, get all the rest of this wiring done. The biggest thing for me is like painting is easy because all you got to do is prep, and like as soon as you're prepped and ready to go, you can paint it and walk away for a bit, right? Like you got to let it cure, you got to let it do its thing. But wiring and stuff like that, it's a struggle to like think through it. And like I spent an entire on stream, I think on Sunday, I think it was like 4 hours it took me to go through and tie in all this wiring and getting it all taken care of. So actually, well, I did actually get some work done, to be honest. I went through and got all my RCS thrusters and all that stuff, all the wiring all taken care of. I got everything all tied together onto just a couple common leads down here at the very end.
Well, looking
Very
good.
pleased.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turned out really well. I got a lot of learn. I got a lot to learn when it comes to like this side is really messy for me. I'm not pleased with how this side turned out. Obviously, I was tired when I did that, but I got a lot to learn about routing cables and doing better measurements for wiring and stuff like that. So it's stuff that I'm paying attention to. Because lighting models is very complicated.
Yes, it is.
And there are so many different factors that you have to like put into play, right? And so, and in here, just here alone, there are like 5 different types of LEDs just in this one little section. And so, things to take from and learn. But yeah, I got all that done and it turned out great. And when it's lit up, it also turned out really, really great. So I'm pretty pleased. One of the things I did notice, however, when I drilled these windows on the bottom, I went ahead and just drilled them straight in, and so you can only see the lights when you're looking at them from that angle. So what I need to do is
Oh,
with my drill, I need to come in from the side
okay.
and kind of like, so that's something to think about when you're looking at that if you can. Um, yeah, I just noticed that like because the windows are coming in directly like from the side, like when you're looking at it from the side, if you're looking at it side on, you can tell that there's a light there, but kind of. It's not until you get to this point where you're like, oh yeah, the windows are lit up. So I don't know if it's not bright enough. I need to experiment with that a little bit, but yeah, kind of figure that part out. I will get back to you on that, just on that front. But basically, the plan is for the rest of it, get all my light boxes installed. Get this. I need to get this light blocked first. So I'm going to try to get that done this afternoon. Give it a couple hours to cure, and then go ahead and get all my lighting installed. And then I have a little bit more work to do on my SMDs. The ones that I put together, about 4 of them fell apart. So I'm
Oh
going to be doing
no.
an SM. Yeah, well, yeah, they just. I'll go ahead and show you here. Possibly, these things are so small. Um, so that's an 0402,
Geez, yeah.
and apologize for the thumbnail. I haven't shared yet. And the solder point is right down there at the very end. So I was able to get them soldered well, but keeping them together, even the slightest pull will pop the SMD apart. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a demonstration of how to solder an SMD and then using UV resin to secure both the leads in place, because it was a little like demoralizing realizing that I needed to I was going to record at some point like last weekend, and realizing that I needed to go through and do more soldering of SMDs. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's disheartening. Yeah.
It is. I mean, it's a skill. Thankfully it's a skill that I've learned, but you have to be really patient and you need to get really close. And so it's just one of those things where I'm going to kind of fix those, do a demonstration. Then I got a couple more SMDs to create, and then I think that is the entirety of the lighting for this model done. So that's kind of the hope and prayer for this week. Lots to do, but also exciting work, because as soon as that's done, then I can start working on all my seams and getting everything all cleaned up and ready to go, so I can kind of get caught up to you. You're definitely going to be finishing before me, but I'm going to try to make it so you're not too far ahead.
Oh, that's great then.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, it's kind of that's the plan for this week. Yeah, and otherwise, these videos are getting great reception for me, which is great. So thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate that. I'm pretty sure it's the same for you.
Yes, and nee! To our one viewer who identifies as a horse.
Oh, Ken, you're so bad. For that person who identifies as a sheep. All right. So, anything else for you, sir?
I think that's it. I'm just gonna let these cure a little bit longer, and then I'll get back on the bench here and get to doing maybe a little bit more painting.
Sounds great, man. Well, I look forward to seeing what you get done this week.
And I look forward to seeing you get your progress done as well.
All right. We'll see you at the bench.
See you at the bench. Hi there. Welcome back to the bench. So we're going to carry on from where we left off. And I'm going to use adhesion promoter now on my two nacelles. So you can see here we have them all ready to go here. We have our masking done. And yeah, I think we're good to go. So I'll start by doing that, and then we'll come in after we've got our adhesion promoter in, and we'll go with our Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch 2X Ultra Cover matte white paint, and that's going to be our primer and our base color. So I'll get on to that. I'll come back once I have the Duplicolor on and let you know kind of the questions we don't know yet. What it's like, what it does, that sort of thing. So give me a few minutes and I'll be right back. All right, so just quickly recording here. I just finished spraying this about 2 minutes ago. It doesn't feel tacky or anything, but you do have to apply your paint within 10 minutes. So I'm going to start putting on my Rust-Oleum here, and I'll come back when that's done. All right, so here we have it all primed and painted up, and looking pretty good. Now, unfortunately, I did bang this into something while painting, so I kind of got a bit of a blemish here, but not a huge issue, because all I'm going to do is I'll come in afterwards with some light sanding sticks or sponges, and I'll worry about that then. However, I did have a bit of an oopsie, I guess. Well, I was removing all the old paint that was on here. I did mess up a little bit here. You can see a seam line reappeared, so I'm going to have to rework that, but I'm not overly concerned, and I am fairly happy with the paint. But, it's only dry to the touch right now. It does need a full 24 hours to fully cure. So that's what I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it a full 24 hours. I'll let it cure. I'm just going to hang it by these wire loops here, make sure they're taped well enough, and I'll hang them off of my lighting rig, which is above here, and what the camera's also attached to. I'll just use I'll just use a couple of clamps like this. That's what I was doing before. I just hooked it into the clamp and then just attached it to my my supports above. So that's all I'm going to do. I'll let that. I'll just put this one up here for now. There we go. That's one. And we'll do the same thing with this one. And like I said, we'll give them a good 24 hours to cure. And then I can come in here and just give it a little light sand and just touch it up a little bit. So, but other than that, the color's looking good. I like it, and we'll come back and see how it looks tomorrow. But for you, it'll just be a few minutes. All right, so here I am about 48 hours later. The paint is really nice. I have to say, nice and smooth. Kind of a nice flat finish. More of a, somewhere in between flat and semi-gloss. So, really good. I do, like I said, I do have issues here from where when I was painting and hanging them up, I kind of bumped into each other. And it caused a few slight issues here. So I'm just going to wet sand that a little bit down. And then I'll come back in with the primer and just give it another coat here. So, and then for these areas here that the seam filling, I was probably overzealous in cleaning off the old stuff, and it would have taken away the putty. Because unfortunately, yes, I did use lacquer thinners. So something to keep in mind. I guess I just wasn't paying attention well enough. I mean, the bottom's fine here. Nothing to complain about there. But yeah, and then here on the top as well. So I'll go around and I'll fix these up and do another coat of the primer and see what that looks like. So I'll be right back. All right, so I've done a little bit of wet sanding, and I still have some more to do. I did also do some more puttying to correct those lines that had been there. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make up the Mass Design thinner. So I marked this bottle Mass Design thinner, so that way in the future I know what it is, as opposed to the second bottle I have, which is just distilled water, which I use for sanding or anything like that. I can just, spray a little on the bottle, grab my, my sander, dip it in there, and then just start sanding. So that's kind of handy to have. But clean that up, although I'm sure I'll make a mess here doing this. So the Mass Design thinner is a mixture of distilled water, 70% isopropyl alcohol. It is some Flow Aid and some Slow Dry, which is like a paint retarder type thing. So those are the products we need to use. So it's 1 cup of the distilled water, it's 1 cup of the isopropyl alcohol, and then it's 1 teaspoon of both of these two additives. I only have a half teaspoon here for my hobby desk that I have today, but I'll do 2, so no worries. So what we're going to do is we'll grab ourselves a cup of our distilled water. Let's see how much I spill on the desk. Oh, not bad. There we go. That's 1 cup of the distilled water. Let's put that out of the way. There we go. Now, when I was originally looking at the bottle, I thought, oh, I could probably do a double batch of that, but obviously I clearly don't remember how much a cup of water is. All right, so I haven't opened this yet. let's open this distilled, or this rubbing alcohol, or isopropyl alcohol, 70%. And again, 1 cup. There we go. That's 1 cup. And you can see this is going to fill up most of the bottle. So there we go. That's there. So now we're already up to this far on the bottle. So we're quite high already. So now we're going to come in here with our additives here. Let's see if there's, yeah, safety cap. So I've never made this before. I'm just following instructions from Mass Design. It's on their Facebook site. All right. There's one. Technically that's 1/2. And that's 1 teaspoon. All right, put that out of the way. Open up this one. Okay, this is the slow dry. So again, 2/2 make a hole. There's 1/2. And there's the other half. And it's as simple as that. Just put our cap on. We'll give it a bit of a shake to mix it up. Oh, and spray a little bit of it apparently. But that's our mixture there for our Mass Design thinner. Oh, there we go. All right, let's try and mix up one of the colors we have from Gary over at Mass Design there. So he does have, if you buy his mass set, it does come with the all the different colors you need, and he normally does them in these little, pardon my head from hitting the camera there, in these little disposable cups, and then he'll put over like some duct tape or whatever just to seal it in. He says it's good for, you know, a week or so. But I'm gonna actually start mixing them in these Tamiya paint mixing jars. I did buy a box of 6. I think I need a couple more here for the colors. I think at least 1 more, or maybe 2 more. So I might just buy a whole nother box. So what I'm gonna mix here is the blue. This is the torpedo assembly detail blue, it's called in his instructions. So, which is using the 2 colors here. So we have Craft Smart Mediterranean Blue, and we have Folk Art Pale Gray. So it's in their matte series. It's Pale Gray. 6463 is the number for it. So that's the 2 colors we're using. So per unit is 2 drops of the blue, 5 drops of the gray. So I'm going to get this all set up here. We got our paint jar. We have a funnel here that I bought. So these are paint straining funnels. These are the disposable inserts for it, so that you can do your paint through there and then dispose of this. This is the funnel itself here. It's collapsible. Came as a whole set. Hundreds of these and 1 of these. So just on Amazon. So you can just insert that there like that. And then you can put in 1 of these. And then we can start doing our paint. All right, so here I have my paints open and ready to go. I'll give them a good shake. Make sure they're mixed. And what I'm going to do now is I'm not going to filter this through here yet. Okay, so what I'll do is I will do the paint drops into this bottle, and it mixes at a ratio of 50% thinner, 50% paint. So I'll put my drops in until I'm happy with a level, and then I will, I don't know how far up I might take it up to 10, I think these are milliliters, so I'll take it up to 10 and then thinner it to 20, and that should be more than enough paint that I'll need. Once I've kind of got it thinned and ready to go, then I will filter it through into another bottle. So that way it all can be cleaned up with water, because it is all acrylic craft paint. So let's start adding our paint drops. So this says 5 per, so let's see how many we go for. Okay, that's 20 drops of gray. As you can see, it is very thick paint. Try and level it out as best we can. So what we need now is 8 drops of this Mediterranean blue. All right, that's our ratio there. So we'll see how we are doing for milliliters once we kind of level it out. We're probably at the 5 milliliter range. So let's use our mass design thinner that we created. We'll take it up to the 10. There we go. And let's give it a mix. All right, so here I've gone and I've mixed it up for a while. It's all good now. I'm happy with it. I did double it again, so I went and put another 20 drops of the gray in and another 8 drops of the blue, just because it didn't seem like I had much quantity. And then just added a little bit more thinner again, just to thin it down. So now what I'll do is we'll take, and I don't know that it really needs this, but I bought it, so we'll try it. There we go. And there's our paint. So this can be just cleaned up with just some regular water. But you can kind of see the color that we have now for that part of the ship. And yeah, I don't know that we got much for lumps or impurities, but we did it. And that's what we got. So I'll put that aside for cleaning. And we will clean the lip of our bottle here. And then we will mark it with our color name. Now, I'm not going to put it in here permanently. I'm just going to put it on a piece of tape and mark it, because I will reuse these bottles over time. But yeah, it's that simple. There's, like I said, there's many different colors that he does up. So just looking here, he does, let's see, like a medium gray, 2 medium grays that are slightly different, light gray that is straight, this light gray, and then there's another white gray that's modified with some white, dark grays. What else does he do here? So we also have a sensor band color. It's kind of a blue, so that's another color we'll be doing. The Crystal Impulse uses a blue, pale gray, and some white. Then there's our secondary pattern of blue, and then there's the first pattern, which is kind of like a tan color. So that uses like a deep gray, brick red, matte pale gray, and a whole bunch of white. So those are kind of the things that that I'll be working with here. So yeah, seems simple enough. The results seem okay. Once I've kind of got this roll bar done with the priming and well, first with the adhesion promoter, then the primer. Then I will come in here and I will try that blue paint and we'll see how it turns out. But for now, I'll put this aside and I'll keep working on the nacelles. So I'll be right back. All right, so carrying on here with the sanding, you can see I've kind of sanded down these areas here so I can come back in and just give them a light coat of the primer and paint in one. Any areas that I'm having problems with, I'm just coming in with a little distilled water here. One of these bottles, I just put a little bit of water on the desk. And I'm just taking one of these like medium sanding sponges. Has a really fine grit on one side and a little bit, you know, like a medium coarseness on the other side. So, soft side, medium side. So I wish I knew what the grits were. I would tell you, but I don't. But you can see here, so I can come along and just wet it and then just kind of give it a bit of a sand with the medium side, and then just with the fine side, touch it up, and just like that. Then what I do is I come in with a little bit of paper towel, and you just clean it off, just like that. And there we have it. There we go. So it's turning out really well. I'm happy with it. Yeah, it's wet sands really well, so I can't really complain. And just gotta keep going through here and finding what I can that needs, you know, any touching up. Like say in these corners here, maybe where the paint got caught in a little bit of a vortex because of a corner swirled. So that can cause some issues. So that happens on like the wing roots of aircraft models, that sort of thing as well. So keep that in mind. So, yeah, we'll just do that until we're happy all the way around. Bottom turned out well on this one. This one here, actually, I think what happened was the bottom split. It wasn't that the it wasn't that our filler was gone. I think it actually I don't know if the paint or what reacted with the glue, but it did cause it to split. So I had to re-glue it, and now I've re-puttied it, and I'm just going to come through here and wet sand it. This time around for the putty, instead of using the Bondo, I've been using the Mr. Is it here, Mr. Putty? Nope. There we go. Mr. Dissolve Putty is what I use this time around. So I'll just keep going around here, sanding and fixing our problem here so that we can come in here afterwards. You can ignore these blemishes here. That's just from where I was clamping it. So I used one clothespin and then one clamp, and the clamp really seemed to cause a little bit of damage because it couldn't reach up as high as I was trying to make it. So, and that was when I was just re-gluing. So yeah, I'm gonna come in here nice and gentle. I'm not going hard. Right now I'm more on the corner as opposed to right over the seam, just to blend in as best I can. Like that, and then we'll start moving towards the seam itself. But you can see like little areas like this is where the paint may have been disturbed when it bumped against something else. So Yeah, I mean, that's all I'm doing here. Fixing the paint up a bit, best I can. Already sanded this area here. Looking good, so we can come in with our primer again, and we'll see how it ends up looking for a seam. If I need to, I can always go back to sanding and filling. Um, so just something to be aware of. So I'll keep at it and let you know how it turns out. All right, so you can see here they're looking pretty good now. I think we're pretty much at the point now where I'm going to let it sit for a while and make sure anything that was puttied is no longer is wet from the wet sanding. So I'll give it some time. I'll come back, look at it, see if it needs to be wet sanded some more, or possibly dry sanded, whatever the case may be. Then I can look at coming back with the white primer, and also I can look at coming back at the photon torpedo launchers and the roll bar itself, and I can do the adhesion promoter and then follow that up with the paint. So I think for now I'm going to take a break. I have to do some recording with Jordan later, and we'll record our segment and we'll talk about a little bit of what I've done here, and then I'll carry on at least probably tomorrow, doing a little bit more of this sanding and filling, and hopefully get the paint on. So I'll stop it here for now. All right, so I have my roll bar slash weapons pod ready to go here. I've gone in and these dry brushed clear parts, I've gone and masked them off so that just the surface again remains white and that the blue light should be able to easily come through. If some does get in around the sides, that won't be an issue for what's in the center, I would hope. I've bagged up my wires here so to help protect them. And I gotta watch how much paint I do use, because I do find that it is possibly what might be popping our seams. So I'll keep an eye on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the adhesive promoter first. I'll come back after I've done that, and also I will have also painted the 2X Ultra Flat, or yeah, the Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch 2X, which is the paint and primer all in one. So I'll do those two things. I'll come back, show you what it looks like. I'll probably try to do these as well, the nacelles. So we'll see what we could come up with, and so it'll be a few minutes for me and just a few seconds for you. All right, so I've kind of given this a lot of time to dry here, but I think this is going to be the last kind of segment area I record before this video goes out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this blue that we did up, and I'm going to try and mask off some of these areas, so my photon areas, and then maybe I'll mask up these little recessed areas here too, and we'll see how this blue looks on them. So give me a few minutes here, I'll do some masking, and we'll come back and we'll give it a bit of a spray. Alright, so I have this all masked off and ready to go. I even put some little pieces of paper towel down in the photon torpedo tubes so as to prevent paint covering up my red light. I've taken some of my paint here that we mixed up, and I've put it in my airbrush here. Let's see. How's it spraying? Oh, there we go. It's not bad. Let's give it a little bit more air pressure. Let's give it a little bit more. Of our mix. Let's try that. All right, let's see what we can do here. Now I may have thinned it down a little bit too much, extra. There are times here where I'm spraying and then I just go straight to air, so no paint coming out. And a little bit of paint again. It's not a bad color. I don't know if I'm going to need to go darker or not. I'll have to think about it for a few days, I think. All right, let that sit for a little bit. I'll clean the airbrush out and we'll come back and hopefully do some unmasking. All right, well, I was off camera there. I put on another coat of our paint here without putting any more thinner in it, and I think it stayed a little bit better. So let's give it a little bit of an unmasking. Yeah, you can see the thinner stuff got under our mask or our tape. Well, I must say that is looking really good. The adhesion promoter seems to have done its job really well. I think when I over thinned it though, I think that's where I got a little bit of a paint bleed underneath. So I think I can just come along with a cotton swab and some more of a little bit of our Mass Design thinner, and I should be able to clean that off because that thinner shouldn't affect the spray paint that we used. So give me a few minutes here. I'll get some cotton swabs and try to clean it up. Well, I'll have to say that this thinner is doing a really good job at cleaning up the a little bit of overspray we got here. It's not having obviously any effect on the Rust-Oleum that we sprayed on. Just looking for any other places, like right here. On here. So there we have it. There's our photon torpedo tubes and our blue on the roll bar part. So I have to say, looking really good. I'm happy with that. We'll see. This paint does feel a little, I don't know, to me it feels really flat, which it is. But it feels like it needs to be protected. So I'll give it probably a day or two, and maybe I'll come in and give this part a bit of a flat coat or something. So that way when masks do go over it, it protects this as well. Hopefully, maybe we won't need it. I don't know. Maybe I'll do some testing first. But yeah, you know what? Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll give it a couple days. I'll give it a bit of a test with a little bit of masking tape. And hopefully it won't come up. Just caught myself a little more of my blue overspray. So hopefully that doesn't cause any paint to peel up. But I must say I'm happy with that. It's kind of an experiment here to see how that color is going to look. I'm very happy with it. Of course, now this should face this way. This towards me is the front. But yeah, so there we have it. I'm very happy with it. I'm going to give these a couple more days to dry and whatnot. And then I can maybe look at doing the intercooler areas up in here. So thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate it if you stuck around to the end. I'd like to say don't forget to go check out Jordan to see how he's made out this week on his build. And also I'd like to say don't forget to go check out Cass over here at Lake Monster Details. Thanks again, Cass, for sponsoring us. You've done a great job on these parts, and I'm looking forward to seeing the new stuff coming out. And I'd also like to thank Will over at the Ensign's Chair for all his great work on designing a lot of this stuff. So you guys take care. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now. Alright, so I have everything masked up here, top and bottom, and the photon torpedo launchers ready to be painted. Nope, I don't actually.